For any of us that have watched football for a long, long time, we remember back to big games and just watching our favorite teams, and we identify those games with being on a certain network. And you can think about the NFL being on for years and years and years. It was the AFC was on NBC and the NFC was on CBS. And then Fox came into play and NBC got knocked to the back and then got back into the game later with Sunday Night Football. And on and on. We could say the same thing about college football. So there have been various contracts transitioning from different conferences and so forth and so on. But Greg, I think what's going on right now with the Big Ten and ESPN, or what's not going on, is more substantial than pretty much anything we've seen in the past because of this.
I'm actually shocked that it took us 22 minutes to touch on this right now.
ESPN got into the business of college football, they pretty much started up a contract with every major conference, and then eventually every conference, the American Conference, the Sun Belt, the MAC, everybody's got a contract with ESPN. And now with this kind of, I don't want to over dramatize it, but this war of powers in college football, the SEC, the Big Ten, it's become a network war too now, where again, even though Fox and the Big Ten were attached rather closely here for the last 5 or 6 years, ABC and ESPN still were pumping a ton of money into the Big Ten to the point where they were still getting their selection of the number 2 game of the year, the number 4 game of the year, the 6th game of the year. They were still showing a lot of, big Ohio State, Michigan State games, Nebraska, Wisconsin games, you name it. Notre Dame, Ohio State, that's considered a Big Ten game because it's being played at Ohio State. That was the number 2 selection behind Ohio State, Michigan this year. ESPN, ABC. ABC has been showing.
Will be.
What's that?
Still will be.
Yeah, for one more year. So ABC has been showing the Big Ten since 1966, 56 years ago. But negotiations have broken down. And this will be the first time that ESPN does not have a contract with all the major conferences. And you just, and now with the Big Ten aligning with NBC, CBS, and Fox, and ESPN's got an SEC network, they're already going full throttle SEC. You got to just wonder about how college football is going to be covered now when a ESPN does not have any affiliation with the Big Ten.
Well, yeah, exactly. And here's how it is that, okay, the negotiations have finished and the new television deal takes place in 2024. And is reported to be worth over $1 billion, right?
Yep.
Fox owns it. And Fox will do the exclusive Big Noon Saturday, which to all of us here in Husker Land is 11 in the morning. Yay. And then CBS will get the 2:30, 3 o'clock spot. And then NBC will have that primetime spot. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's the first time that ESPN / ABC won't have anything to do with the Big Ten. And it's kind of crazy that, there won't be a Big Ten venue considered for College GameDay, hosting College GameDay. Well,
I don't know if we know that, do we?
That's the talk that's going on, is that they're not going to be a part of any of the College GameDay stuff on campus. I'm just saying on campus. So yeah, they're never going to go there. I mean, if there's a cross conference game going on, yeah, you're going to have a Big Ten game or team in there, but
yeah.
They're not ever going to go to a Big Ten venue to host College GameDay now. So that is unfortunate, but it's a money move. Obviously, the ESPN has their, you know, they got their stock in the SEC, and so it's just, to me, just looking at it, it's punch counter punch right now between the Big Ten and the SEC, to who can get better. And and still the wild card in this is Notre Dame. Now, is Notre Dame still willing to take their $75 million a year from NBC and then get the chump change they get from the ACC network? Or do they join the club in the Big Ten because all of a sudden now your forever partner in television is now involved in the Big Ten? And if NBC is doing the primetime game, to me that sounds like Notre Dame is going to be on primetime every Saturday night if they're playing at home. But we're gonna, like we've been saying for weeks and weeks, the landscape of college football has been changing so much, and television dollars run the deal. And it's just, again, like I said, I think the Big Ten is just trying to flex their muscles again ahead of the SEC before the SEC does something like this. And to me, that ESPN would not try to match that. And don't get me wrong either. It's not just those three networks, but there's also streaming money involved in this whole deal with, some of the streaming, like I think Apple and I'm not sure if Netflix is in on it, but Hulu, I think, or somebody. But so there's more money coming in than just the television networks on this whole deal. But yeah, I mean, the more the merrier, I guess. I mean, more avenues to get college football on your devices if you're not in your own home or not in the stadium watching it. And more revenue coming into the players, with NIL, with all of that too.